Amazing.
Okay.
Sex is amazing.
Very powerful.
Okay.
Like very, very, very powerful. And I don't think you understand its true power until you deal with one person.
So I had that first talk in the barbershop.
All right.
And
Why the barbershop?
I had this. I think it was being had around me when I was young. So it wasn't talked towards me, but it was being had around me. And I think the old heads was tapping me in like, you know what I mean, young boy? And I was like, yeah, I know exactly what you mean, because I do this all the time. And I was so young, man.
And how old were you when you were having this
I was
conversation?
about 14.
14.
I was about 14, so I was real young. And it was like that skydiving moment, like, dang, I guess that's what you're supposed to do then. And y'all watch your pockets. You know what I mean?
Well, me, I think it's from my older brother.
Okay.
Because we're 4 years apart, and he was already like ahead of his time with everything that he did. So
how old were you when you were having this conversation?
9.
9?
Yeah, it's like 8 or 9. When he had sex, he'd come home and just tell me his experience. You know what I'm saying? And it was always like things that I didn't quite understand, but it was like, all right, I just took it as a mental note and I figure it out when I get to that point. You know what I'm saying?
Back then, it was more so like I felt like I was one of the homies. Like I was young. I was in the shop getting my hair cut, and it was a shop that I later on ended up working in, cutting it.
Okay.
But so I was in there getting my hair cut, and I felt like that was like my initiation to be
inclusion.
talking about something that I had no experience in whatsoever, but they tapping me into it, and I was like, all right, cool, yeah, I feel you. And I felt like it motivated me to go out and start doing things completely wrong.
Okay.
Because there was no education there. It wasn't education. It was just sex talk. You're
Okay.
so embarrassed being young that you don't know. You don't want to act like you're the only one that don't know. You know, now as I'm older, I would, you know, if I had that conversation with a younger guy, I would definitely ask them like, do you understand the things that I'm saying?
In Black and brown communities, we tend to be a little bit more sexually repressed than other cultures. You know, like, oh, that's that white people shit.
Yeah.
Why do you think that is? Is it because religion? Is it because of slavery? Like, why do you think we are not open talking about sexuality as much as other demographics?
I think that slavery aspect does play a role in it for the simple fact that back then we didn't have choice. So, for example, like me and P was talking about it the other day, psychologically, we don't talk about our feelings, period, just in our community as in general. So if you take into account back then in slavery, where if the quote unquote master wanted to have sex with my wife, I gotta eat that. And as a man, it's like protect and provide is to our core.
Now I can see why the conversation probably is so uncomfortable to be had in a home of a black father and, you know, black family, period. Whereas the white people, they didn't go through that experience, then guess what? That conversation probably has been held for years. And so they knew how to pass that conversation down to each other. How can you pass something down you don't even have?
I don't know the story of the birds and the bees.
Yeah, me neither.
Like,
I don't even know where that came from. Like, what is that saying for? You might know.
So, is good sex dependent on having an orgasm?
No.
Why are you laughing?
It's funny to have that question come to a man. What you say, Shawn?
That's more like a women problem. Majority.
Ooh, problem. That's a strong word.
Not problem, but issue. We're not brought up to think about as far as
If you're gonna come or not?
or pleasing a woman.
Okay.
We're mainly thinking about like, yo, I'm just trying to catch this nut. You know what I'm saying? If we're having sex, like we're only thinking about us versus am I really sexually satisfying her? If I'm having a conversation with my homie at 14, 15 years old when we're just losing our virginities, we're not thinking about pleasing shorty. I mean, it's like a PowerPoint presentation when we talk about sex. We only hitting the high points.
How has sex changed as you've gotten older? Okay.
Now as I'm older, I'm like enjoying the process of having sex.
The intimacy, you think?
I'm definitely enjoying the intimacy because now I'm just having sex with one woman. And so that's the beauty of it.
Were you not enjoying intimacy when you had multiple partners?
No, I don't think I was. I don't think I had I don't even think
I don't
thought
think
about
you even,
it.
like you're not worried about the intimacy aspect of it. Like nobody teach you about intimacy. I think you learn that as you go.
Hearing people give me those point of views like, yo, man, don't get nobody that. That's too much. That's what gets your windows bust out. Like that was
Right.
a toxic conversation. That gets your windows bust out. And so it's like, yeah, my windows bust out after I had sex. Outside of the barbershop, my dad was a womanizer, right? And so he had countless women coming through the house, and I remember him talking to me about it. Like, yo, I don't ever see no chicks come through the crib for you. What's up with you? And I was just like, I ain't not supposed to show you that, but it be happening though. You know what I mean? And so I remember like him giving me that green light to start showing him, and then I felt like I needed to show him more. You know what I'm saying? So I felt like I needed to check in with him. Like my version of checking in with him, showing him that I was having sex, was running a woman past him, like in the daytime now. Man. So no more nighttime action. Now we coming out in the day.
In hindsight, it was pressure because I've always been the youngest one in my group. You know what I'm saying? Through all my friends, and they were all having sex. I wasn't even having sex. But because I hung out with them and did, you know what I'm saying, everything, and I was kind of known as like a ladies' man, like I always got girls easy. They always thought I was having sex. Before I turned 15, I was pump faking.
Until I get to that point, I ain't telling you I ain't get there.
Yeah.
I ain't telling you I ain't having no sex. I'm telling you whatever you saying, I know what you talking about.
Right.
Oh yeah, that too. Yeah. That too. Yeah, I have to leave.
I would just take their stories, revamp them,
and bring them back to
another hood. It was definitely pressure with me, like I said, being the youngest, and everybody's having it. And I'm sitting there like,
or is everybody really having
it?
So like, really, like if
we all be a bunch of pump faking,
we all lying to each other and we all piping each other up, right? Is we really have? So now, if you grab the story from Big Bro and you came to my circle and start talking about it, I was going to start telling you some stories too that I heard at the barbershop.
As you're like in your 30s and 40s. Do you guys talk about sex with your friends? Do you guys still share stories, or has it changed because people are married or there's kids involved? If
so, it's in retrospect. It's old stories because I'm not about to tell my right hand man sex with my girl. That's this.
But no, I personally think that in my 30s, I was still talking about sex, right? To people in the barbershop, to my friends, to just people just in general. But in my 40s, like I'm not talking about that at all. But I am having more healthier conversations about sex to the younger generation that comes in here. When you have one partner, one person that you love, and this is the best sex you're gonna ever have. And if you can get there now while you're young, because I ain't gonna have that toxic conversation with them that it was had with me. If you can get there while you're young, you're gonna experience a lifetime of it.
How do you feel about the narrative about black men and sex, or black men relationships that you see on TV or in sitcoms and movies? I feel like there's certain like things that we always see, like black men cheat, black men got 10 kids by 13 different people.
See, I don't believe narratives that's already put out there unless I experience them for myself. So like growing up in the 90s, you had family oriented TV shows. You know what I'm saying? We had the Family Matters and Good Times, the Cosbys. So you always seen me, even though I didn't grow up with a dad in my household, you know what I'm saying? But I never felt without the picture that they paint, like even still to this day, they would say like, oh, it's not enough black men in homes. You know what I'm saying? But
not enough black dads.
Black dads.
Yeah.
That's a lie. Like, cause I surround myself with nothing but black dads. Like even myself, me being a father, I couldn't be a deadbeat if I wanted to, because not only will my mom have something to say about it, grandmom is saying something about it.
But also the men in your family, they're not deadbeats.
None of the men in my family are deadbeats. All of them take care of kids that's not even theirs. I don't believe the narrative that they paint in the media because of my surroundings.
So I believe one narrative that's being painted in the media today about black men, and black men don't cheat. And I'm rocking with that one all day long. I'm rocking with that one.
Lil Duval got that.
Yeah, Lil Duval and Charlamagne was represented. I'm behind it 110%. So that's the narrative I'm rocking with. But any other narrative out there, it is really, it's not real. You have to be a black man. You have to be in the black man community to even realize how powerful we are. I ride past I'm just riding past the subway, seeing black men walk up the steps with the baby stroller. I see it now. Young boys pulling their pants up, pushing the baby stroller, and I'm like, this is all too often now in my community. So if that picture is being painted in somebody else's community, that black men is not, no, come to the black community and see for yourself that we out here moving, and it's young boys that are happy being fathers.
So one place we do see black men talk about sex is music. So why do you feel like that's a comfortable place for black men to express their sexuality of all places?
Music or the barbershop?
Music.
I think I think people don't even realize what they're doing with music and what sound is, right? And so you just really like rap into the next bar, where you singing a song that you think everybody wants to hear. Like I remember hearing an interview with 50 Cent, and he was talking. He was like, "Yo, 50, so what kind of weed you smoke?" Because in your interview, in your music, you talk about this weed you smoke, and he was like, "I don't smoke no weed." So imagine if you asked the dude like, "Yeah, so how many chicks you hit?" Because in your song you said you hit them all, and would he tell you that too? Like when he say, "Yo, I got one girl," I think people are just doing it because they think everybody wants to hear it. I don't think they're doing it because that's what they're doing. You know what I mean?
And in the black community, there's a lot of what's known don't need to be said when it really needs to be said.
You're both fathers. Do you plan on having the sex conversation?
So my girlfriend, right? My girlfriend, she has a son that just turned 14. I take it from my experience, and I'm thinking like, at what age was I really trying to have sex? Like it goes from a thought to actual trying now. You know what I'm saying? And it was around 12, 13 years old. So with him, when I sat him down, it was a real like straight shot, no chaser conversation. I think that's how it needs to be had versus making similes and metaphors of
the birds and the bees.
You know what I'm saying? Like, no, we don't need to be, look.
Messing with your mind.
For him, I told him like, this conversation may be uncomfortable for you. Yeah. But at the end of the day, just as a man, you got to be comfortable with being uncomfortable.
I did it with my daughter at 12. I had a conversation with her at 12, and I thought it was it. And then I was talking to a guy, and he was like, "No, you got to have that joint like once a month." I was like, "I don't know about once a month, but often I will revisit it." And so from 12, I did it again. I had a conversation when she just turned 16, and I was like, "Baby girl, this is way more uncomfortable for me than you about to feel. But how do you feel about sex?" And she was like, "What? I don't know, Dad. What you talking about?" And it was me and him because I didn't know what to expect. Because I raised a nephew, and I went to talk to my nephew about sex. I'm like, "Yeah, man, you should wait till you about 18. I'm telling you, you're going to feel good. If you wait till 18, that sex going to be so much better." And he was already 14, 15. He's like, "I think I got a baby on the way." I'm like, "Yeah, I ain't got no baby on the way. What that mean?" And he was like, "I already been having sex, like off. And he thought it was cool to tell me. But I'm like, we never had the conversation. So now when I have with my son, I'm scared of that. What you going to say?
Back in the day, like, being gay was like, that wasn't even a discussion, like, period. And now to have that conversation on both sides of the spectrum is like mind-blowing and educational at the same time. Because I think our generation, fathers, have to listen more than we speak.